But you've honed in on quite a specific scenario to illustrate. Is that because you've seen someone do that?
I have.
This is Salts YouTube. I'm Lauren Windle and I'm joined by blah, 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 blah.
Harry Howells.
Harry! And we're going to be talking about what gives men the ick.
Yeah, the big one, the big question.
The big ick. We've spoken before about what women, what can sort of really put off a woman, whether that's something quite superficial or something quite like deep. But we haven't actually had that conversation with a bloke. So who better? Who better than Harry?
Yeah,
the wizard, Harry.
The wizard, yeah.
Okay, I've got one that I want to run by you.
Go for it.
And it's so funny because it came up in conversation with a friend last night, right? I was off out at dinner with one woman, one man, and the bloke was talking about some things that really put him off.
Okay.
And my friend said to him, like, well, so what are these kind of like little things that just sort of drive you mad? Because I know about the nail polish one. And I was like, hang on, I don't know about the nail polish one. Apparently, blokes find it like super unattractive if you've got like chipped gross nail polish.
Really? That doesn't really affect me. I think the long nails for me, when like they're out here,
super talons.
Yeah, like the talon claws. It's like, how do you do anything? Like let them pick up your phone or anything else.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that's just a bit.
I always wonder how they scratch/pick their nose.
Yeah, like that's a big one as well.
It's just not possible, is it?
Exactly.
Not that I do that.
Digging for gold, you're just not going to be doing it. It's null and void. From a guy's perspective, I feel like the ick isn't sort of as commonplace as from a woman's perspective. Like for a woman, I feel like it's very much easier to be turned off by a man than it is for a man to be turned off by a woman. So for us, it's more of the deeper stuff, which a girl may not notice, like because we just completely wipe over the superficial things. So
that's so interesting.
For us, it's so much deeper than surface level.
Because I think a lot of people would say they don't feel that that's their experience. But like, there's, in some ways I hear you, and in some ways I think like, oh, I wonder if that's the case.
Yeah.
I think we definitely talk about women getting the ick more than we talk about men getting the ick.
Yeah, I feel like it's a two-way street.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to come onto like a YouTube show like this, or like on YouTube there's loads of like 5 things that put him off, or 5 things you should never say. And actually, like, dating's not formulaic.
No, it's not.
It's about feeling it out, and sometimes if that's your character, if you're a person who talks like that or eats like that or sits like that or dresses like that, then that's who you are.
Exactly. Like there'll be somebody out there who loves that, and maybe that person that you're on a date with now doesn't appreciate you for you. So
exactly.
You just got to keep swimming.
Yeah. With that sort of caution, like, yes, hear these things, but don't rush to change yourself or fit yourself. Because I think particularly women can feel the need to like, oh, men hate that, so I won't do it. When really like, come on, let's think this through. Is that something you need to change or not? Give me something that you're like, oh my gosh, if she did that on a date, I don't know how I would get past it.
Before we even get in the restaurant, for example, we're at the door.
Right.
And
I'm picturing it. We're at the door.
Picture it.
I'm ahead of you. You're behind me.
I'm behind you,
Yeah.
So somebody's coming to the door and they want to come out, and you don't hold the door open for them.
I slam it in their face.
Yeah, exactly. Or you just pretend they're not even there.
Okay, so I just let it drop, or I just stand there rather than just being like, oh, go on.
Yeah, and you wait for them to open the door from the other way, sort of thing.
Right,
like that would put me off, because it's just like general manners. Like you're putting yourself out there to be courteous towards others. And I feel like I have like a good moral sense of, okay, well, that's what I need to do. So if I see somebody else not doing it, I'm like, okay, well, that's just a bit dodgy, really. I don't really like that. And that's an ick.
But you've honed in on quite a specific scenario to illustrate. Is that because you've seen someone do that?
I have. I've not actually been on the receiving end, but I've seen someone do it, and I was just like,
and
wow.
you were like, wow, I couldn't date that girl.
There's going to be no second date there if it was me.
All right, give me another ick.
Definitely.
Give me another ick.
Okay, and the other one, now we're in the restaurant, okay?
Okay, we're in the restaurant, we've sat down.
Got your food, everything like that, and you chew with your mouth open. Like, even just like the little bit, stop that.
Is that
stop
really?
That.
Is that just, you're getting the ick literally as we speak?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah, or like if you're speaking and a little bit flies out your mouth.
Yeah, and that's
you
not
don't care about that so much?
No, because you're eating. That's a different
Okay.
thing. So like you're just enjoying your food, man.
Okay, okay. So you like it when someone's like all in for the food,
Yeah, like
but
just
you
go
just
crazy.
It's the noisy slapping, the open mouth, the being able to see the
Yeah,
mastication.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you can enjoy your food, but I don't want to see it. Like
Okay.
just
Yeah.
that's a big one. I feel that just the table manners as well. Like
Yeah.
manners as a whole is so important,
Yeah.
especially for myself, because I've been raised up to be, very courteous, and I've got a, sort of like a full arsenal of manners. I'd like to think in that
Yeah,
sense. So
yeah,
if I
yeah.
see somebody that doesn't
Somewhere
have
out
it,
there, your
like,
mum just got this like amazing like tingle and
Tingle
glow.
through,
She just
yeah.
doesn't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I hope I didn't sound big-headed in that
No,
sentence.
I love
but,
that.
like,
No, not at all.
I feel like manners,
yeah,
to
that's
me,
been
are so
instilled in you.
I feel like they're so underrated as well, because
Yeah.
as the world sort of moves towards this more sort of it's me, everything,
Yeah.
like nobody else matters. Just
Yeah.
having that general courtesy for others, not necessarily for any real reason, just because
Yeah.
it's who you are, is so important.
Yeah. If you're enjoying this chat, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So, say you went on a date with someone who, I've got a few little questions here, who
Okay.
turned up very glam when you know you've gone to somewhere which is quite chill.
Okay.
So, like, you're maybe dressed like this, great date outfit, jeans, trainers, top shirt, and she's come in like
Yeah,
a
just
proper,
straight
like
out
a
the Met Gala sort of
silky,
thing.
yeah, like down to her, maybe not ball gown, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
she's really like full face of makeup, lovely hair. Would you be a bit like, okay, we're not matching?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that icky, or is that just like a bit of a shame?
I think you have to dress for the occasion.
Okay.
Like if we're going out somewhere like that's really nice, maybe the menu's on the
Cocktail
bit of
bar,
yeah,
yeah.
like a bit higher up sort of thing. But if you're just going out for a Nando's or somewhere that's not sort of like, yeah, there's a dress code, I feel like it wouldn't necessarily be off-putting. I would think maybe along the lines of she might think a lot of herself sort of thing, maybe.
You
I
think
don't
that might
know.
say something about her
Yeah.
attitude?
I
Like,
mean, it's nice that she makes an effort, but I feel like just having the awareness of the situation is a bit
Okay.
more attractive than the other.
putting the context and you feeling
Yeah.
comfortable around her and you guys like fitting well in the context above her looking the absolute
exactly.
most sort of flattering stuff. There's a balance, isn't there, when it comes to
Yeah.
attention. You've been asked out on a date, you maybe fancy the guy, it'd be a real shame to feel like you're not
Yeah.
getting any attention.
No, exactly.
But you definitely don't want to feel like you
Gone over
need
the
the
top.
attention of every person in the room,
Yeah,
or every
exactly.
guy in the room.
Yeah, 100%.
So how tall are you, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
5'10".
5'10", right, great height. But what if she's 5'8" and she's one heel, so she's just a touch taller than you?
Oh, that's a me problem then. That's a me problem. I mean, if she's going to be taller than me in heels, I mean, yeah, it's just what it is. It doesn't affect me anyway.
That's not an ick for
No.
you. That's just okay.
It just is what
I
it
love
is.
that.
I feel like for women, it is a very much, they have to be at least, 5 inches taller, or the 6 foot
Yeah.
bracket, which, I mean, if you're smaller, I mean,
Yeah, I think that women often do feel like they have to be shorter.
Yeah.
And I know I've got some friends who are like quite tall, and they almost feel unfeminine sometimes being taller than the person that they're with.
yeah.
And I totally
It's that
get
protection
that.
thing, I guess.
Yeah, and I 100% get that. But I do think that in the last sort of 10 years, we have stepped up our conversation about men's heights massively.
big time.
And we're now making men who are average height or shorter feel super uncomfortable when really, like,
Yeah, I know what
come
you
on,
mean.
I think that there are some amazing couples out there that never happened because of that rhetoric.
Height, yeah.
It's obviously quite subjective what's going to put someone off, and we don't want you to be speaking for all of mankind or Christian mankind.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I dropped a few of my mates a message. You put it out on your life group.
Mm-hmm.
What have we got? What do the friends say?
Yeah, I mean, well, one of their responses was actually the chewing thing, which wasn't actually apparent to me until I saw the message, and I was like, you know what, that actually
chewing,
it makes a lot of sense.
Big time. What else you got?
Somebody's put horse girls, and I understand why they've put that.
Now, do
Like-
you mean women who have equestrian features,
No,
or women
like,
who ride horses?
Women who ride horses, but
What's
like
the
come
issue?
from the back. I don't know. They can sometimes be quite uptight, and just a bit of hard work. Like,
This is quite a
I'm
generalisation.
sorry, yeah, it's quite a generalisation. Like, some horse girls might be really nice.
Okay,
I
but
think
you've
from-
come across you or your friend have come across a few.
I think that's where they must be coming from on that. It's like, they can be quite hard work, bit of high maintenance, like maybe a bit sport, because obviously horses aren't cheap. So if they've got a horse, like, you know.
Fair enough, okay.
So it might just be a bit of entitlement, and that's a massive red flag and a bit of a nick as well, just entitlement.
Okay,
sort of
someone,
so
yeah,
it might coincide with that stuff. So
Luke. Oh no, I said I wouldn't name them. Or not Luke.
Okay.
Talking on the first date about wanting to get married and setting setting like a line for that, being like, oh, I'd like to be married in the next year. He says is ick material.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
okay, that's interesting, because I think I would say that. Let's also frame this in the context of you're 21, I'm 33. So if I was on a date with someone, I wouldn't sort of wax lyrical about it, but if they said like, oh, you know, what would you like? I'm never going to pretend that I wouldn't want marriage.
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't put a time limit on it, you know, but I'd say my lead time on that would be shorter than yours, maybe, which is totally natural.
Yeah, potentially. I feel like it's, if you're in that stage where you're like, yeah, I really want to get married, maybe wait until like, you know, you're 5-6 dates in or something like that. Like, you know.
Should I turn up in a veil?
The biggest ick that I've found for me, and biggest red flag, is when they go on about their ex. Now it could be on the first date or second date, third date, fourth, whatever time it is. If they prolong their speaking about their ex, that is like, okay, well, something's not quite settled here. Maybe I should take a step back and figure out what it exactly is that she's got going on with him still. So, I mean, I've had a bit of experience with that, so for me it's like I know what to look out for.
Okay,
but,
yeah. I agree. I think it's hard to allow yourself to enter into something that could potentially be serious when you feel like someone's still got one foot in the past, but still kind of grasping onto something a little bit.
Exactly.
Whether that's like the level of contact they have with them or the way they speak about them. And that could be like super angry or really affectionate. Actually, what you want is just like somebody, if it's relevant to the conversation, to communicate with kindness and respect and brevity. If they need to say something about their ex.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. I mean, if it's angry, if they speak about them in a very harsh tone, or you know, they're reflecting on the bad things that they did, that is a massive red flag. You run out the door. If she or he talked about their ex in a positive light, that is very indicative that they have moved on from it, and they're also, you know, they highly regard them, and that's good, because you don't want to have any sour taste in your mouth from somebody that's been and gone 2, 3, or even like 5 years ago. I totally agree. Final thing I would love to just hear your thoughts on then is, we've covered a wide range of things, from like grotty nail polish up to like, you know, not establishing a healthy friendships with people of the same sex. And there's a real difference, and we sort of use the term ick kind of loosely, but there's a discernment about how seriously you incorporate those things into your thinking. Like, what do you think about that? 100%. I like, if it's a very shallow thing, doesn't really matter, but if it's a big one, you know, that's where I sort of evaluate where things are going. Like, if I was in a situation where I was getting to know somebody and I'm like, I like them, but I don't know, they had gunk underneath their nails, I'd be like, that doesn't really matter. But like, if they just didn't have any manners, didn't show any sort of respect towards others, then that would be like, right, okay, Harry, I think we need to have a chat here, and this isn't probably going to go anywhere thing. So that's my standpoint on it. It's
been so amazing to hear your thoughts on this, and just to have a healthy conversation about men's perspectives on things, and just to sort of pick that apart. I love that. So thank you so much. You've been watching Salt's YouTube channel. If you want more of this amazing Christian content, hit like and subscribe.